Melissa sat at her desk, staring at a bill from the fertility clinic. It was lying open on her planner. Even the beautiful view from her Chicago office couldn't lift her mood. Here we go again, she sighed, rubbing her forehead. Melissa worked as a fashion buyer. At work, she had to be perfect all the time. Her eyes wandered to a photo on her desk, her and her husband Brian on their wedding day, both smiling. They had been married for 5 years, but their struggle to have a baby had put a distance between them. Brian worked in real estate. He always dressed well and had a charming smile, but lately, that smile looked tired. At dinner that night, Melissa told him, "The fertility treatments are more expensive now, and the insurance doesn't cover as much." Brian put down his chopsticks and picked up his wine glass. "It's okay, we'll handle it, work is going well." Melissa looked at him closely. Something felt off. "Really? The balance in our joint account has been going down a lot lately." "Just business expenses," Brian said quickly. "I need to invest to make bigger sales, don't worry." Melissa was about to question him more when her phone rang. It was her sister, Vanessa. "Hey, can you talk?" Vanessa sounded excited. "What's going on?" Melissa stepped into the kitchen. "I'm pregnant." Melissa froze. She leaned against the counter to stay steady. "Oh, congrats," she said. "Who's the father?" Vanessa lowered her voice. "I can't say right now, it's personal." Vanessa was nothing like Melissa. She had no job, lived off their parents, and did whatever she wanted. Melissa, on the other hand, always followed the rules and tried to meet expectations. "Have you told Mom and Dad?" Melissa asked. "Yeah, they were actually really happy, especially Mom." Melissa was shocked. She had been going through painful treatments, spending money and time, while Vanessa got pregnant easily, and no one even cared who the father was. "We're having a little party at Mom and Dad's on Saturday. You and Brian should come," Vanessa said cheerfully. "Sure," Melissa replied, but deep down, she didn't want to go. After hanging up, she sank to the kitchen floor. All those years of tracking ovulation, hormone shots, and scheduled intimacy, and now this. When Saturday came, Melissa felt like an outsider. Her mom was crying happy tears as she touched Vanessa's belly. "Our first grandchild," she said. Even her strict father looked gentle. Would they be this happy if I got pregnant? Melissa wondered. Brian sat next to her but seemed distracted. He kept checking his phone and stepping out of the room. "Work," he said each time. Melissa had a strange feeling. That night, when they got home, she checked their bank account again. More money was missing. Brian's business expenses were adding up, and he was coming home later and later, always with some excuse. Around 2:30 a.m., Melissa's phone rang. It was her mom. "Vanessa went into labor. We're heading to the hospital." Melissa sat up. Brian's side of the bed was empty. "Where's Brian?" she asked. "No idea," her mom said, "probably working." Melissa made tea in the kitchen. Brian hadn't messaged her. His coat was still hanging on the hook. At 6 a.m., he still hadn't come home. Melissa got ready and went to the hospital. When she arrived, she noticed Brian's car in the parking lot. "He's here," she thought, but he never called. Inside, as she neared the maternity ward, she heard familiar voices, and froze. It was Brian. "She has no idea, at least she's good for money," he said. Then came her mother's voice, "She's useless. You and Vanessa deserve happiness." Melissa's heart pounded. Vanessa laughed. "The baby looks just like Brian. No DNA test needed." Then Brian said, "She's been funding everything, doesn't even know." They were talking about her. Melissa pulled out her phone and started recording. Her mom said, "That girl only cares about work, she doesn't understand family. You, Brian, and Vanessa, that's the real family." Melissa's fingers shook as she recorded. Vanessa said, "I never expected it to turn out this way, but I'm glad. I have what Melissa never will." Brian added, "She's got her career, her awards, but I wanted a real family. She couldn't give me that." Tears streamed down Melissa's face. Her mother asked, "What will you name the baby?" "Elaine," Vanessa replied, "after Mom." "You're my real daughter," her mother said, "not Melissa." Melissa stopped the recording. She didn't cry. She stood up, turned around, and walked away. The pain was deep, but she felt free. She finally had answers. Not the ones she wanted. but the ones she needed. Outside, the sun broke through the clouds. Melissa got in her car and rested her forehead on the wheel. No more tears. Instead, something else filled her. A plan. Expenses. Melissa's smartphone rang. It was a message from Brian, working late. Might not make it home tonight. Love you. Melissa gave a cold smile. Taking care of your daughter and wife at the hospital. I see, she muttered to herself, after replying with a brief understood. She scrolled through her contact list and stopped at a name, Laura Carter, a law school classmate who now specialized in family law. Laura, it's Melissa, she said over the phone. I have something urgent to talk about. Can we meet today if you're free? An hour later, Laura knocked on Melissa's apartment door. She listened to Melissa's story, heard the recording, and checked the bank statements. This is bad, Laura said, frowning. Legally, you're in a strong position. This isn't just cheating, it's also using your shared money unfairly. It might even count as fraud. What should I do? Melissa asked calmly. First, keep all the proof safe, then open a bank account in your name only, Laura explained. Keep digging, but don't let them know. We need to find out everything they've hidden. Melissa nodded. How long will it take? About 1 or 2 months. Until then, act like everything's normal. They can't suspect anything. A determined look came over Melissa's face. I can do it. I'll act like nothing's wrong. The next morning, Melissa got up at her usual time. Brian still wasn't home. She got ready for work, then went to the bank to open her new account. At work, she focused and did her job even better than before. No one noticed anything. No one saw the fire inside her. That evening, Brian called. I'm coming home tonight, he said. We need to talk about. Melissa stayed calm. Vanessa had her baby. Did you hear? A girl. Yeah, Dad told me, Brian replied. Congrats. There was a pause. Are you saying that to me? No, to my sister. I have nothing to say to you, Melissa said coldly. Right, could you make something special for dinner, to celebrate? Of course, Melissa replied, looking forward to it. She hung up and whispered, this is just the beginning. That night, Melissa made Brian's favorite food, poured wine, and lit candles. When he got home, she smiled. Welcome back, she said. Congrats on becoming an uncle. Brian looked relieved. Thanks. Vanessa's baby is adorable. They named her Elaine, like your mom. Melissa kept smiling. Come eat. During dinner, she asked about his work, the big projects, and his future plans. He answered, looking nervous at times, but her calmness reassured him. About the fertility treatments, Melissa said suddenly, I think I want to keep trying. Brian stopped mid-sip. Really? Isn't it enough? The cost? Worried about money? She asked. No, I'm just thinking about your health, the shots, the hormones. I'm strong, she said, placing her hand on his. Her fingers were cold. He didn't notice. The next week, Melissa started digging deeper. At lunch, she went to the bank to collect statements from the past 3 years. At night, she checked Brian's documents and computer. She looked for hidden money and followed every transfer between Brian, her mom, and Vanessa. It's worse than I thought, Melissa told Laura. For 18 months, he's taken thousands each month from our joint account. That money went to a separate account and paid for Vanessa's rent, shopping, and delivery costs. Do you have proof? Everything, Melissa said, holding up the file, bank records, photos, voice recordings. Mom helped them too. She used her own savings and kept it secret from Dad. Great work, Laura said. Most clients don't get this much evidence. They destroyed my life, Melissa said softly. I just did what I had to. Laura put a hand on her shoulder. We're almost there. Just find a new place to live. Then we start the divorce. Melissa nodded. She had already picked out an apartment. She just needed to sign. The weekend Brian went on a business trip. Melissa made her move. She packed up important things and took them to the new apartment. She took her share from the joint account and worked with Laura to get ready for the divorce. Maybe I should talk to Dad, she thought. Walter was strict but fair. Melissa didn't know if he knew about what Elaine, Vanessa, and Brian had done. She called him. Dad, can we talk? Just the two of us. Don't tell Mom. Is everything okay? Can we meet at a cafe tomorrow morning, while Mom's at church? The next day, Walter waited at a cafe. Melissa brought her evidence and calmly told him the truth, about Brian and Vanessa, her mom's role, and how they took money meant for her treatments. Walter's face went pale, his hands shook with anger. I can't believe this, he said. Elaine. You didn't know? You didn't either? No, I gave Vanessa money from my savings to help her live on her own. She never told me Brian was the father. Here's the proof, Melissa said and played the recording. Walter covered his face. I'm so sorry, Melissa, I should have seen the signs. It's not your fault, she said, holding his hand. They fooled both of us. What are you going to do? I've already planned everything. I'm filing for divorce and demanding compensation. I'll get back what they took. Walter was quiet for a moment, then nodded. I'm on your side. Tell me if you need anything. Thank you, Dad, that's enough. Just pretend you don't know for now. I want to finish this quietly. Walter agreed. Melissa walked to her new apartment. Her steps felt lighter. She didn't know just how much this would change her whole family, but something inside her had come back to life.